So, hello and a very good morning, YouTube. And today I'm going to talk about my 2010 Skoda Laura Ambient VRS TSI MT 1.8, and we're just gonna go a little around the mods that I've done to the car, and we're gonna talk a little about the features of the car and what makes my car one of one in the entire world. So without further ado, let's begin. First of all, the VRS badge. So this badge was straight away imported from Czechoslovakia, and Czechoslovakia say it reached Mumbai ki Kulla market from where I bought it, and this sticker adds around 15 horsepower to the car, to an already a lot powerful car. The power figures I can't really disclose because dyno testing, but yeah, we'll talk about that once I pop the hood. And for now, yes, so I picked up a regular Skoda Laura manual petrol because it's cheaper, obviously, and then I made it look like a VRS with the body kit. I didn't change the front bumper yet because, well, I will eventually. And the VRS front bumper adds around 10 G's of downforce and around 25 horsepower to the car, and it's kind of an overkill. So you can see the big intercooler mounted inside. It's 3-liter intercooler which supports up to 1500 horsepower, but currently my car is doing around 800, so more than enough for that purpose. So these headlights have LEDs in them so that the car looks modern and doesn't feel like it's a 10-year-old car. I changed the badgings to the latest black Skoda badgings, and I think that number plate, fancy gel with the number and my logo, just looks good. गाड़ी पे फास्टैग भी है, हालांकि MH की है, so that's there too. And I got a little butterfly on top just to show that the car flower kadra fire. Now, moving on to the tires, as you know, it's a front wheel drive, and 700 horsepower to the front wheels is a lot. So I went with Michelin Premises, and these are quite nicely sized for the car, along with these alloys which are made from aircraft grade aluminium. As you can see, it's the same aluminium which is used in the NASA space programs. They're very lightweight. आप एक उंगली से उठा ले सकते and literally इधर से उधर भाग सकते. So they add around a lot of controlling power to the car, and these alloys will set you back by around 2.5 lakh rupees, but I got a really good deal, 1,30,000 from Kulla market. So these are Japan Racing JR 28 17 inches. I didn't go for 18 inches because बहुत ज़्यादा लो हो जाती गाड़ी and बहुत लो प्रोफाइल रहती. एक आध गड़ा मारते सीधा सस्पेंशन ड्राइव शॉट पूरा निकल के आगे चले आता है माँ की गिरी हो नेगेटिविटी होना ही नहीं अपनी ज़िंदगी में. So apart from that, yeah, all four alloys are the same. Now moving on to the braking duties, I didn't get the brake calipers colored yet, so braking is not so optimal. Once I get the calipers colored, it's gonna add a lot more braking power. It's got ceramic ventilated discs right from a Ferrari 458 Italia. So I changed the brakes from a Ferrari 458 Italia onto the car so that it gives it a lot more stopping power for all the 700 horses it has. And moving on to the back of the car, it's got tinted tail lights because why not, and again the VRS badge in the back just so people remember that I'm driving a VRS. It's got a really nice HKS Borla turbo muffler installed, so the muffler alone costed me around 1,20,000 rupees. It's the same muffler that's used in the Nissan GTR, so it gives it a very sporty and nice exhaust note, which we will listen to in a while. Actually will not, because it's too loud और लोग हम पकड़ गालियाँ देते हैं यहाँ पे. Yep, that's about it for the visual mods. अभी चकाचक लाइटां वाइटां पूरे बहुत चीज़ें आने के हैं गाड़ी को. So let's move on to the spoiler. Again, this spoiler, it's a cast carbon fiber aluminum alloy spoiler for the VRS. It's a standard fitment in the actual VRS, but in this we made a little tweak so that adds around 7 to 8 G's of downforce, which is very good when you're going around a very hard corner around KBR Park, you know, sipping on your coffee and smoking your cigarette or whatever. और इधर इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली डिक्की भी खुल जाती, डिक्की खोले तो यहाँ ज़बरदस्त बाजा है. You know, it's a 12-inch kicker subwoofer, so you know, when you got bitches in the back, you can blow their hair off. वो अलग बात है that, you know, you never get bitches with a project car. Yep, that's about it. Moving on to the rear seats, these are Napa leather cushioned seats from, you know, that brand Stanley, and it's got 9D carbon fiber leather mattings ताकि आप पैरां घस लेते बैठ सकना नीचे enjoy करना. And the rear seats are very comfortable so that me and all the 5 boys that I'm going to be carrying with me at all times around KBR Park are, you know, very comfortably seated in the back. That's about it. It's got speakers here also ताकि सर के पीछे भी बजना. And yep, that's about it for the rear. Now moving on to the front of the car. गाड़ी हद से ज़्यादा साफ़ है, यूजुअली इतनी साफ़ नहीं रहती बिकॉज गाड़ी जितनी मैली रही इतनी पावरफुल रहती. सो यू नो दैट्स इट. इट्स गॉट अ मैनुअल स्टिक शिफ्ट. ओ माय गॉड, इस पर मैं शॉर्ट शिफ्टर डालने वाला हूँ ताकि घपाघप गिरा मार सकना. हैंड ब्रेक है ताकि आप खींचते लड़ा लेते ड्रिफ्ट मार लेते जा सकना. गाड़ी फ्रंट व्हील ड्राइव है मगर फिर भी आप ड्रिफ्ट बोल के हैशटैग पोस्ट डाल सकते हैं. इट्स गॉट एन अपग्रेडेड स्टीयरिंग व्हील फ्रॉम द लेटेस्ट ऑक्टाविया, because that gives you a lot more grip when you're gripping down hard on the steering wheel when you're racing against a pimped out VTEC out there on KBR, risking your and others' lives. And yep, इंटीरियर का ये हो गया. डेक ज़बरदस्त डला हुआ है, कार प्ले वार प्ले, so you can see where the fuck you're going. You're never gonna go out of town in this car, but फिर भी सिटी में कभी रास्ता घूम गए करे तो आसानी होती. Okay, now let's just pop the hood and then I'm going to tell you about the serious performance upgrades and mods I've done to this car. So as you can see, light switches, all the switches are working and alive. AC के थोड़े vents टूटे हुए हैं, but that's okay. मीटर 240 तक का है, but गाड़ी आराम से 340 के ऊपर जाती. So you know, that's there too. वो 240 से फिर गोल फिर के 0 पे आ जाता उन्हें. So you know, that's also very nice mod I've done to the car. फुल भग टिंटिंग नहीं कराया मैं क्योंकि गाड़ी में मामले तो नहीं होते, मगर मैं टिंट कराना सोच रहा हूँ बिकॉज फुल भग टिंट करा के सामने MLA स्टिकर लगा के सायरन लगा लिया बोले तो और 25 हॉर्स पावर बढ़ जाता गाड़ी में. So let's pop the hood and see what's inside. Serious power mods which I got done. So like I told you before, this is a front mounted twin intercooler capable of 1500 horsepower which I got from, you know, I don't know, someplace. So it's got a 1.8 TSI engine that's 1800cc of absolute madness, and I still haven't put in a stage 5 conical air filter because fuck no. It's just got a stock replacement K&N inside, which is doing the job just fine. That's the battery for all your power needs. That's the fuse box. And you know, the car has a drinking problem, as in not mileage or petrol. It actually drinks oil because it's a Volkswagen engine. So you know, there's a lot of oil stains, and that's where the oil cap is. And alternator belt, ये सब तो है. But yeah, moving on to the serious performance upgrades I've done to the car. First off, it all starts with the blood of the car, like the engine oil. I'm using Goe engine oil. You know, Goe, it's a very nice brand. People say it's German, even I believe it's German, but deep down I know that it's made in India. But whatever the fuck, everyone says it's nice, so why not Goe for life, fully synthetic. And this is red color coolant inside. It's not Bolon Zubaan Kesari, it's actual red coolant which helps you know the engine stay 25 degrees cooler during hot summers when you're ripping down on Outer Ring Road. And uske alawa I've got a stage 7 turbo charger which is capable of putting out around 2500 horsepower, but currently the car is only pushing out 700 like I told you. And below this engine cover, yeah, you'll see my coil packs which are not red colored. Unfortunately they're black, so you know that kind of reduces the horsepower figure by an overall 50 horsepower. I'm gonna get red coil packs which belong to an Audi R8 V10 Plus supercharged, along with spark plugs from a Lamborghini Huracan Performante LP610-70, and that will also add a lot of horsepower. So timing tends to skip a lot, so I got a new timing kit completely. AC compressor tends to fail, so I got a new AC compressor down there. Now the most important part when you get a project car or tuner car is remap and dyno testing. Bina uske half the life is waste. So let me tell you my experience with the remaps. It's also got a force blow off valve, so that every time you put the pedal to the flow, you can hear cooker ki CT, and that increases horsepower again by 30 horsepower. So blow off valve, bro, because turbo life, bro. And this is a JDM car, proper JDM, Jet Challa domestic market. Coming on to the suspension, it's got fully adjustable sacks with preload and Öhlins lowering springs with only half an inch of ground clearance, but currently I'm running it on stock setup because with the boys. Honorable remap mention to CT Tuners. CT Tuners is the only mapping in the country which is dyno tested, 135% dyno tested, so you know what they're giving you. So initially, as anyone would, I just got the car and I went straight off to Code 69 Performance, and वहाँ जाके मैं पहले पूरी complete engine की, gearbox की, TCU की, ECU की, BCU की, MC, BC सब remapping करा दिया. उसके बाद से the car started pops, bangs, blast, boom, crash, and every rev it was just like, oh my god, World War 3 शुरू होने वाला है क्या, North Korea आ गया क्या. So that's all it was about. And finally I blew an engine, so I decided it's time to go for something different, something more technical, something more robust, something more capable, which gives me raw performance and not just pops, crashes and bangs. So I went with G-Tuners, and G-Tuners performance actually made a hell lot of a difference. My car was doing 200 in first gear, and by the time I got to second gear my engine blew, but I left all the other cars behind, so that's what matters. So G-Tuners all the way, but like I said again, I blew an engine. After that I tried some generic maps like Gevo, and uske baad se I tried even Superman chips. That was also good, but ultimately पूरा सब try करने के बाद 3 से 4 इंजन बदलने के बाद finally I decided to go with Condom Performance, and Condom Performance is as of now giving me the best performance and mileage. My car gives me a mileage of 20.5 on the highway and 26 in the city, along with the 300 kilometers per hour top speed and crazy pulls. And I can flex because not a lot of people have done the Condom Performance remap, and I'm running a full straight downpipe which is 4.5 inches, that is thicker than my, never mind, and that goes on to complete SS304 stainless piping all the way back. पीछे जहाँ पे मैं duplicate HKS Borla turbo muffler लगाया, which costed me, like I said, 1,30,000. So overall, absolutely fucking worth it. Totally worth it. Nothing else on the road, and this makes this one of the fastest stage 69 tuned Skoda Loras in the country, and this thing is fast as fuck. The other day I was pulling up alongside a Lamborghini. Boy oh boy, I could never see him in my rear view mirror. वो अलग बात है कि उन्हें neutral में था, but still I could not. So there's still a lot of performance mods, tiny things that I've done that I cannot explain in this video, and which are way beyond normal human beings understanding capabilities, and I'm gonna make another separate video for all of that. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Any more questions and doubts, put them down below, and yeah, I think I've answered most of your questions. So let's get the fuck home in my turbocharged TSI.